Hey guys, Tara Ryan here, and today's tip from Tara is about assumable mortgages. We're getting a lot of questions from home buyers about, hey, how do I find a home for sale where I can assume that mortgage at super low interest rates? There's some things going on social media that's driving this interest, and I want you to have the real scoop so you know how to answer those questions. So first of all, what is an assumable mortgage? Conventional loans have not been assumable for quite some time, but government loans, so FHA and VA loans, are written into the mortgage documents as being assumable. What that means is the current homeowner can transfer that mortgage at the current interest rate they have locked in to someone who buys their home. The home buyer has to qualify for that mortgage. They do it directly through the mortgage servicer. So whoever is taking that current homeowner's mortgage payments, and they have to qualify and go through the process of getting approved, but then they basically take over the mortgage at the current interest rate and current balance. Great deal, right? However, there's usually a significant gap between the current mortgage balance and what the seller would like to sell the home for. That gap is the problem. Where do you get those funds? Okay. If you happen to have a home buyer who is, has a ton of equity from selling their home, or they just happen to have a lot of cash. So let's say they're coming into this with 100 or 200,000 as down payment. Well, yeah, then they have funds they could cover the gap and they could potentially assume a mortgage. But for most home buyers who are coming at this with their 5% or 10% down payment, it's not going to be enough money to fund the gap between the current mortgage balance and what the seller needs to sell the home for. I don't know of any easy solution through a mortgage provider like myself, or even through home equity line or smaller banks. I don't know of a good solution for a loan to cover that gap. Okay. In practice, these loans don't happen very often. Right. So for a typical buyer, they wouldn't have the money to cover the gap, and there's not a great source to go get that money. Even if you had $100K or a big lump of cash to cover the gap and you wanted to assume a mortgage, please know this goes through the servicer. There's no loan officer. There's nobody who's getting paid a commission to shepherd this person through the process. These things take on average between 90 days and 120 days. So really 3 to 4 months to close. Imagine like working with the government to try to push a loan process through. Not an easy thing to get done. Most sellers in this market have other options. So why would they want to wait that 3 to 4 month period for that home buyer to get their mortgage process and assume their mortgage in place? So what I'm telling you is, in reality, these rarely happen. The number of these that happen across the entire country are in the hundreds, not thousands. So it's very, very small. And in fact, in a recent mastermind with a number of lenders across the country, there were 12 of us. We had, out of all of us, none of us has ever seen someone successfully assume a mortgage. So what I'm telling you is, it's one of those things that sounds good, gets people excited, but it's really kind of a shiny object that's not really happening out in the market for the reasons I just described. But at least you have a way now to answer that question, and then we can redirect back to, how do we find you a home? So send them my way, and I'm happy to chat with them about ways we can make the home buying process affordable in ways that can actually close. As always, we're here to help. And if you'd like more useful information, please like and subscribe. We want to make sure you continue to stay updated.